If you're a student in school, college, university, even if you work from home, I know how hard it can be to study effectively and maximize productivity. So in today's video, I'm going to share with you some advice on how you can manage your time, stay focused, and deal with the stress and pressure of exams. I'd like to give a quick thank you to everybody who's a member of the Gentleman's Lobby. This is our private, free community, and I put a post there asking people what they would like help with when it comes to studying. I had some tremendous answers, and if you're not already a part of this group, then the link is right down below to join for absolutely free. It's a way for you to connect with like-minded men, and of course, take advantage of my free self-improvement course, The Gentleman Method. Now on with the video. If you want to study like a gentleman, it is essential that you clean and clear your study space. There are likely one or two places where you do most of your studying. Maybe it's a desk in your bedroom, maybe it's the library, or perhaps you're even lucky enough to have a home office. It's essential that this space is a calming environment that helps you to focus. At a bare minimum, you need a chair that's comfortable, a desk that is big enough to accommodate your books, your laptop, etc., and adequate lighting, such as with a desk lamp. Personally, I also always like to have a drink, either water or a cup of tea, a candle burning, that helps me concentrate, and some gentle background music. It's also important to think about the environment surrounding your desk. For example, if you're in your bedroom, make sure that your bed is made. Make sure the floor of the bedroom isn't covered in clothing. And if you can't create a calming, suitable environment to study at home, then go to the library. This is a place that was literally designed to be optimum conditions for studying. And while you're at the library, make sure you keep your desk free of anything you're not using to studying. You don't want any trash, any clothes, anything like that on the desk. As a young gentleman, I also encourage you to invest in the right stationery. Studying is like any other skill, and therefore you need the right tools to do it effectively. You at least need notepads that you keep organized, a pen that you enjoy writing with, and any technology like a laptop or an iPad. Personally, I do all of my work for the channel in these little green A4 notebooks. I have my Parker Jotter pen that I enjoy writing with, and I have an iPad and a MacBook that I work out of. Having the right stationery actually helps with motivation. When you're excited to use these things, then you'll be more excited to actually do the studying. I'm actually going to put a link in the description to this pen which I use. It's the Parker Jotter. It's been around since 1954, and in the James Bond movie GoldenEye, this is what Pierce Brosnan is actually given by Q, although his has a little bit more of a weapon inside of it than mine. Many of you struggle to manage your time when it comes to studying, and I appreciate that can be very, very stressful. Here's how you make an effective study schedule. You want to open up Google Calendar and first plot out all of your existing commitments like school, sports, and church. Then plan how much time you actually need to study for this upcoming exam or this class. For example, for the LSAT, most experts recommend a studying amount of between 150 and 3 hours over a period of 3 months. However, when choosing the amount of study time to allocate, be aware of Parkinson's law. This law of logic dictates that a task will always take up the amount of time that you assign to it. And it means that, for example, if you give yourself 300 hours to study for the LSAT, you might end up filling some of those 300 hours with rather unproductive and unnecessary tasks. And in fact, you could study just as effectively in a period of just 150 hours. But let's say you're going to study 25 hours a week. Perhaps you can only study 2 hours a day in the week, then you have a full day of studying on a Saturday and a few hours on a Sunday. Schedule these study sessions into your calendar as recurring events, and then add a description to each event detailing what you will study during that session. That way, when you come to sit and study, there can be no procrastination, no doubt about what you're meant to do. And when I procrastinate, it's always because I don't actually have a clear idea of what I should be doing at that time. When creating your schedule, Don't make yourself a prisoner of your own imagination. Also include social and family activities. These elements of life are essential for our well-being as humans, so don't ignore them just because you have a big exam coming up. So you have your desk set up, you're nicely organized, you've got your study schedule telling you that it's time to begin studying, but you just feel like you can't. You lack that motivation and that focus. Well, if you suffer from a lack of concentration and focus, you are not alone. In fact, it's been scientifically proven that my generation, Gen Z, has a shorter attention span than previous generations. And I'm sure you can guess why that might be. So here are 3 strategies to help you improve your focus. First, turn your phone off. Yes, I mean turn it completely off. You know as well as I do that your phone is the biggest distraction. Text messages from your friend, social media notifications, it's all going to pull you away from your work. And if you have an Apple device like a MacBook or an iPad where your text messages still come through, turn that device onto Do Not Disturb mode. If you're at home while studying, ask your family or your roommates not to disturb you. Your parents will actually respect you and be proud of you for setting these boundaries, and they will do their best to make sure your siblings don't distract you. And the third strategy is one that I find incredibly effective. I'm talking about using a work timer. Set just a simple egg timer or a timer on your computer for a period of work, let's say 30 minutes or maybe 1 hour. Now, when you begin studying, if you already struggle with concentration, you might want to do the Pomodoro technique. This is where you have 25 minutes of study and then 5 minutes break. As you continue, your concentration abilities will improve. It's like a muscle that needs to be strengthened. And then you might be able to study for 1 hour, 1 hour 30 minutes, and even 2 hours at a time without losing focus. It can also be useful to do your studying at times when there are fewer distractions. For example, if you wake up in the morning before school to study, your friends will still be asleep, so they're not going to be texting you, distracting you. It's also vital that you sleep well and you avoid drinking too much caffeine. When we don't sleep the adequate amount, our brain cells actually can't communicate effectively with each other. And when we get really tired, you actually have those micro sleeps where you feel yourself nodding off at your desk, and then our body gives us a shot of cortisol to wake us up, and it's just a completely unfocused and unrelaxed state of mind to be in. Then a lot of people overcompensate with drinking caffeine, which can leave us erratic and restless. When studying, the brain needs to be awake yet relaxed. Effective studying should feel like meditation. You're very focused yet very peaceful. I also recommend avoiding sugar and processed foods. I noticed that in libraries, some people like to bring a bag of candy or snacks to help them concentrate, but personally I've noticed that these foods will cause a big crash in energy and make it much more difficult to focus. Some people even like to avoid eating carbohydrates. They feel like it gives them brain fog. Personally, I know that I study more effectively and work more effectively when I eat balanced meals at regular intervals, including carbohydrates. And finally, set rewards for the end of your study sessions. Maybe you complete a 2-hour study session and then you go and watch half an hour of your favorite show on Netflix. Better still, you can set rewards that are more around social activities, such as going to a cafe or going for a drink with your friends, but only after you've completed the study session that you allocated yourself. Exams can lead to a lot of stress and pressure, and I remember that feeling very well, but I'm here to tell you that feeling isn't going away. There's going to be stress and pressure in your personal life and in almost every career you can follow. So you need to learn how to deal with that stress effectively. The best way you can deal with nerves and pressure on exam day is with the things that you're doing right now. Think about this. Who is going to be more stressed when it comes to the actual day of the exam? The guy who has followed his study schedule for the last 3 months, worked with great focus and dedication? Or will it be the guy who never studied at all and then crammed it all in at 2 AM the previous night? The best way to deal with nerves is to know that you stuck to your schedule, You remained focused and you've done the best you can to prepare. There will always be factors that affect your performance which are totally outside of your control, from the questions that come up on the exam, right down to your genetics. Nothing in life is a fair, level playing field, but it's down to you and your preparation to give yourself the best shot you can. On the actual morning of the exam, there are a couple of things we can do to deal with the physical symptoms of stress. I highly recommend you go for a run or a morning workout. That's going to give your body the opportunity to release all of that cortisol, that fight or flight hormone that's been built up. And before you enter the exam, or even during the exam, if you're feeling stressed, you can practice a Navy SEAL breathing technique called box breathing. Let me give you a very quick demonstration. So you're going to breathe in for a count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 2, 3, 4. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4. And rest. 2, 3, 4. Do that a few times over. You'll feel your heart rate decrease and your levels of stress completely dissipate. Gentlemen, I've done my best now to help you study more effectively and maximize your productivity. But I also want you to help each other. If you're not already a member of my free community, you can join using the link down below. And I want you to help each other out by sharing a photo of your study space, sharing your study schedule, and perhaps any other techniques that maximize productivity and time management, which I didn't get to share in today's video. I will be absolutely delighted to see you help each other out and bring each other up and level up as a community. I'm going for an academic-inspired autumnal look today, beginning with this Todd Snyder blazer. Made of Italian wool, it's very soft and comfortable and has this gorgeous bird's eye pattern. You can get 20% off this blazer and anything else at the Todd Snyder store using the code JAMES20. Underneath, I'm wearing a fisherman knit sweater by Spear & Mackay, and I'm accessorizing with a Fort Belvedere pocket square in orange. For my trousers, I've gone with these grey flannels by Suit Supply, perfect for the cooler months. And on my feet, I have these orange and brown striped socks, which are just perfect for this time of year, and a pair of brown derby shoes by Ace Marks. So thank you for watching today's video. The link is down below to join the free community, and I'll see you in the next one.